Hey Fred, we're on to video number 2, and you asked me to do a little research on this article you're reading in USA Today about lifestyle change can cut breast cancer rates. Now isn't that a wonderful sight to see in headlines? It came from Barcelona. There was a conference over there, and there was a gentleman over there, Dr. Carlo Laviccia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Doctor. There, he's an epidemiologist from the University of Milan that basically said, focus on changing your behaviors about what you're eating and exercise. Lifestyle changes can significantly affect any and all sorts of cancer rates, such as diet, smoking, and that's an obvious one, physical activity and sun exposure. Now, there was another guy down in Harvard in the same article who said, people are so hooked into thinking that their genes are going to be the main type of congenital weakness that will expose cancers. But this gentleman or this woman named Michelle Holmes actually pointed out that said a lot of this has happened in our lifetime. The genes have been around for thousands of years. You got to look at lifestyle. As well as a secondary article we have here about obesity causing 30% of breast cancer. And actually the people from China have found the study. Greater vegetable and fruit intake is associated with a lower risk of breast cancer. And you'll also find a little bio on Dr. Laviccia, and it looks like his credentials are right in place about epidemiological studies. He's done them in Argentina, in Brazil, in Italy, and he looks to be a favor of what we always advocate as in your healthy journey is lifestyle change. Can you make a couple comments, please?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't agree with Dr. Laviccia more, because in my observation in the last 45 years, I have seen plenty of people come to me telling me that that the problem they had was genetic, and it happens to most of the people in their family. A lot of people in their family develop these problems. Well, I would say the majority of times by changing their lifestyle, they not only turned the problem around, but I saw that they incorporated these lifestyles into their family with their children. The children didn't develop these problems. So with obesity and breast cancer, remember, the more the estrogen is produced in the fat cells. So the more fat cells you have, logically speaking, the better chance you have of getting breast cancer. 75 to 80% of the diseases we're getting today are caused by lifestyle. Now, a lot of people say, where are the double-blind studies to prove this? Well, if you're waiting for the double-blind studies, you might not ever see them, because most of these studies are funded by people who stand to gain to fill their pockets by you not finding out the truth. Lifestyle changes are basically very, very simple. And I'm not talking about some radical change. It doesn't have to be some radical change. You don't have to move to the Canary Islands or live underneath a coconut or an almond tree to be a healthy person. I mean, there's a lot of people who try to make you think that if you're not living, in a tent someplace in Costa Rica or in the Canary Islands, that in order to be healthy, you have to do that. Well, that is another distortion of the truth and sheer nonsense. I have seen people do fabulous with basic lifestyle changes, tremendous improvement like we just seen recently, just by leaving out the processed food, which is a major accomplishment. I see people that leave out to go to a vegan diet. They're eating, or even eating some animal protein. They leave out all the chemicals, all the pesticides. Remember, pesticides mimic estrogen in the human body. That's another factor in developing cancer. But I have seen people go to clean diets with different parameters in it and achieve fantastic health here. So that's why I'm getting away from these people making these claims that you have to eat 9 almonds. If you're eating 10 almonds, and you're not going to get the same result if you're eating 9 almonds. Or you have to, you have to stop eating at 3:46 in the afternoon, or you can't eat before. Half of this stuff there's a lot of truth in this type of stuff, and the people that are espousing it are trying to do a good job. I'm not faulting anybody, but the body has a 20% margin of error. We want to try to get mainstream America to get away from the processed food. That is the beginning. Then we wanted to educate them about what a good diet really is, and to make them realize that you don't have to have tremendous amount of protein to be a healthy person. One of the main problems in Western society is we're hooked into this protein myth that you have to have a certain amount of protein per body weight. Well, It's not true. You have to have a certain amount of protein per body weight to maintain your level of toxicity so you don't have any symptoms. But if you want to clean your body up, you want to get healthy, you do need a certain amount of protein to be healthy, of course. I'm not one of those people saying you don't need any protein. But there's no reason in the world why you can't get enough protein from a vegan diet. Anybody tells you you have to eat animal protein, there's some mysterious enzyme or some nutrient that you can't get from combining a plant-based diet. Well, the best thing I would do is turn around and run the other way when somebody tells you that, because it's not based on any kind of scientific fact. There's so much nonsense that we're trying to get by here. And of course we need all the help we can get for people to support what we're doing so we can get the message out there. It takes support, and we're trying to educate as many people as we possibly can. And watch out for these people that demonize everything except what they're doing, because they're the type of people that you have to watch out for. You know, they demonize everything except what they're teaching or what they're doing. I don't believe in that. Some of the stuff is strictly anecdotal information or abstract science. The basic truth is available. I suggest some of these people read Guyton's book on physiology, or Hull's book, Anatomy and Physiology, or Robbins' book on pathology, or read the China study. Tremendous amount of overwhelming information, or just like the study that Dr. Vachikia just mentioned to us. All kinds of studies. But what I go by is I've been doing this now for 50 years. Probably saw a conservative estimate is 20,000 people. I consider that like a study. I saw the bottom line. I saw where people got better. I saw who didn't get better. Because I saw people that ate a diet that was 60% raw and 40% food that wasn't good, and they weren't successful, or they didn't understand detox. So we have to look at the whole picture. We also have to look at the spiritual part of this. Remember, the human body is spiritually, vibrationally induced, electrically, chemically empowered, and biologically carried out. We also have to look at genetic expression. 5% of our problems are really genetic. A great deal of it is genetic expression. How do you change your genetic expression? Is by changing your lifestyle. Not being exposed to chemicals, not being exposed to pesticides, stop thinking toxic thoughts, get spiritually grounded. Get out there in the fresh air, start exercising. Get out in the fresh air as much as you possibly can. Run on the beach if you can, barefooted. Get in the ocean. This is basically a simple message. This is not complicated. This is not rocket science. Most of the confusion, believe it or not, rests in traditional science. The truth is basically simple. Your body knows what to do. Your body has a fabulous ability to break everything down into a microscience, to its own chemistry. You present it with the right situation. Leave out the processed food. Get enough fresh. Drink clear water. Get out in the sunshine. Try to be happy. Enjoy life. Get spiritually grounded. Get to know somebody that has something to do with your spiritual growth. That's all I can tell you.
Wow. So, thanks, Fred. That was really good. Yeah, and we want to, I know we just did our first video on men and Higgins, and this one is about women and breast cancer, and really want to speak out to the women out there, but it's now out there. Breast cancer is the #1 most common cancer in women. So women, please, please look at your lifestyle. Hear what Fred has to say, and, maybe consider this process, what we call your healthy journey. Thank you, Fred. I really appreciate that. Also, don't forget to check out our website at www.fredbishyforhealth.com. Thank you very much.